Hello and welcome to Cappuccino Communication and the second in our two-part series on Knowledge is Power. Last time we looked at knowing ourselves, and this time we're considering the importance of recognizing the voice of God and of knowing those that we lead. The ability to hear God is a huge subject, and obviously we're not going to be able to even begin to address it in 5 minutes. However, if the spiritual leader is unable to hear the voice of God, by definition, they can't be a spiritual leader. In the book Open Heart, Open Hands, where I deal with this at much more length and which you can see the details of at the end of this video about how to download it to Kindle, I tell the following story. In the days when the communications industry had more to do with Morse code than passing digital information along fibre optic cable, an advertisement was placed for high-level operatives who would be working in a multinational company. This well-paid position was meant to attract those who could receive and transmit flawlessly. 6 shortlisted applicants gathered in the lobby of a prestigious hotel for their final interview. In the background, music played as they waited for the personnel manager to call their name. They used their time to chat with fellow applicants as they endeavoured to work out what the competition was like and what it amounted to. As the manager entered, they noticed that one of their number had left, and they assumed that it was because they had realised that they had minimal chance in the presence of such luminaries as themselves. They were surprised to hear, however, that they were all to leave, as the successful applicant had been given the job. It transpired that while they were all comparing themselves with one another, one of the applicants had been sensitive enough to hear behind the music a message in Morse code, summoning them to the appropriate interview room. As with this innovative company, God is looking for people who are listening. These are people who have set themselves time to hear Him above the legitimate calls of home, business and busyness. These are men and women who do not see prayer as an opportunity to present a shopping list of petitions, after which they then scurry off to do what they consider to be really important in life. They're people who see prayer as communion, waiting on God, a two-way street that listens as well as broadcasts. Hearing is not a mystical method, it's about taking time to encounter. This of all places is where knowledge is the ultimate power. Finally, understanding the importance of knowing ourselves and recognizing the voice of God, the good leader endeavors to get to know those that they lead. In John chapter 10, the account of Jesus, the ultimate leader, it says that not only do the sheep know the voice of the good shepherd, but that he knows them as individuals. When I was a young pastor, an elderly lady came to see me with a problem. She'd hardly been in my office for 5 minutes before I began to offer her advice, peppered by a multitude of biblical texts. As she left, my first feeling was a perceived amazement of how I had managed to rally so many appropriate texts in my arsenal of limited experience. My second feeling was a major rebuke from God, who made me aware that this lady probably knew the Bible far better than I did, despite all my theological training. She had not come to stand before a firing squad of well-ordered scriptural correctness. She was not looking for a hand grenade of potted theology to be hurled into a painful world. What she really wanted was someone who would listen. I was later to learn, and I hope never to forget, the important balance needed between listening and transmission. And it's found in Isaiah chapter 50, verse 4 and 5. It says, "The sovereign Lord has given me an instructed tongue to know the word that sustains the weary. He wakens my ear to listen like one being taught. The sovereign Lord has opened my ears, and I have not been rebellious, have not drawn back." Well, may the Lord give us open ears to spend time listening to Him and to spend time listening to one another. The 3 most important facts about good leadership is relationship, and what's the other one? That's right, relationship. Well, that's all for now. God bless you, and don't forget, keep the caffeine flowing.